Kwabina Davis is an American mixed martial artist who currently fights as a light heavyweight for the Ultimate Fighting Championship. As of May 26, 2014, he is number 6 in official UFC light heavyweight rankings. Background: Davis was born and raised in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania with his two older brothers, Jeffrey and John. He began wrestling when he was in the 8th grade and then attended Harrisburg High School where he was a 4-year team captain and letterman, with a 112-17 career record. Davis also lettered in tennis and cross-country running. He then went on to wrestle for the Penn State Nittany Lions wrestling team, finishing in 5th place nationally in the 197 lb weight class as a junior in 2007 and then winning the NCAA title in 2008. He finished with an overall wrestling record of 116-15 while at Penn State and was a 4-time NCAA Division I All-American. After graduating from Penn State, he began training with the newly formed Lionheart MMA team, coached by Jeff Rockwell, T.J. Turner, Mark Miller, Matt Kocher and Ryan Giauhn in State College, Pennsylvania. His primary training partners were Paul Bradley, Lou Armazzani and Jaime Hetz. He also trained with many visiting fighters such as Dave Herman, Sean Slack, Dominic Cruz, John Jones and Cain Velasquez. When the Lionheart team disbanded in 2009, Davis moved to San Diego, California to continue his training with Alliance MMA. Davis earned his blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Lloyd Irvin in 2009. In 2009 he won the No GI Grappling World Jiu-Jitsu Championship as a blue belt in the 221 lbs, super heavyweight division. Davis began his professional mixed martial arts career in 2008, compiling a record of 4-0 in regional promotions across the United States. Ultimate Fighting Championship: Davis signed with the Ultimate Fighting Championship in December 2009. First Contender Run: Davis made his UFC debut against Brian Stann on February 6, 2010 at UFC 109, winning by unanimous decision. He then faced fellow undefeated prospect, Swedish Alexander Gustafsson on April 10, 2010 at UFC 112. Davis defeated Gustafsson via submission in the first round, giving Gustafsson his first loss. Davis next faced Rodney Wallace on August 7, 2010 at UFC 117, replacing the injured Stanislav Nikov. Davis controlled the bout with his wrestling and won by unanimous decision. Davis fought Tim Boetsch on November 20, 2010 at UFC 123. He won by a one-handed modified Kimura submission later dubbed the Mr. Wonderful. He was awarded $80,000 for Submission of the Night and received the Submission of the Year award from MNews247.com. Davies was expected to face Matt Hamill in Toronto at UFC 129. However, Hamill was tapped as a replacement for Thiago Silva against Rampage Jackson at UFC 130. Davies was offered a fight against Jason Briltz, but then he replaced the injured Tito Ortiz on 6 weeks' notice against Antonio Roca copyright Rio Nogueira in his first UFC main event on March 26, 2011 at UFC Fight Night 24. Davies defeated Nogueira by unanimous decision. When UFC light heavyweight champion John Jones pulled out of the long-awaited title fight for Rashad Evans, Phil Davies agreed to fight Evans on August 6, 2011 at UFC 133. But on July 12, Davis pulled out of the event with a knee injury and was replaced by Tito Ortiz. Davies was announced to face Lyoto Machida on December 10, 2011 at UFC 140, however, shortly after, it was revealed that Davis was still recovering from a knee injury and the fight did not occur. Davis faced former UFC light heavyweight champion Rashad Evans in a number 1 contender fight on January 28, 2012 at UFC on Fox 2. Despite Davies' substantial wrestling credentials, Evans dominated him on the canvas, coasting to a unanimous decision. Second Contender Run: Davies was expected to face Chad Griggs on August 4, 2012 at UFC on FOX4. However, Griggs was forced out of the bout with an injury and was replaced by promotional newcomer Wagner Prado. The fight was ruled no contest after an accidental eye poke at 1:28 of round 1 rendered Prado unable to continue. A rematch with Prado, briefly linked to UFC on FX5, took place on October 13, 2012 at UFC 153. Davies won the rematch with a second-round Anaconda choke submission. Davies was expected to face Forrest Griffin on December 29, 2012 at UFC 155. However, in early December, Griffin pulled out of the bout, citing a knee injury. Davis faced Vinny Magla-Poundis in a wrestler vs. BJJ specialist fight on April 27, 2013 at UFC 159. He won the fight by unanimous decision. On August 3, 2013 at UFC 163, Davis defeated former UFC light heavyweight champion Lyoto Machida by a controversial unanimous decision. Davis' only significant offense was a little ground and pound following takedowns near the end of rounds 1 and 2. All 13 of a sample of 13 selected media outlets scored the fight in favor of Machida. Many MMA commentators and bloggers scored the fight 30-27 for Lyoto Machida. UFC President Dana White tweeted shortly after the fight that he had Machida winning all 3 rounds, and later told Yahoo! Sports Machida definitely won, MMA judging sucks, and his oft-repeated advice, never leave it in the hands of the judges. Conversely, ESPN scored the fight for Davis. With an official win over the highly ranked Machida, Davis looked to move into title contention against Anthony "Rumble" Johnson, who returned to the UFC riding a 6-fight win streak at light heavyweight outside the promotion, following his disastrous and much criticized previous UFC run at welterweight. Despite Davis being a considerable betting favorite, on April 26, 2014 in the co-main event at UFC 172, Johnson easily shut down Davies' wrestling game and kept the fight standing, where his superior striking won him all 3 rounds in a unanimous decision. Leading up to the UFC 172 event, Phil Davis actively baited UFC light heavyweight champion Jon Jones on a media promotion conference call. Later, he disparaged Jones' achievements against undersized competition, claiming against actual light heavyweights, "He's been so-so." He predicted that he would soon claim the title, while explicitly dismissing the challenge of his own booked opponent Anthony Johnson. Jones, who defended the UFC light heavyweight title comfortably against Glover Teixeira at the same event, took pleasure in mocking Davis' loss at the post-fight press conference, and later online. Davies next faced Glover Teixeira on October 25, 2014 at UFC 179. Davies won the one-sided fight via unanimous decision after dominating Teixeira with his grappling skills. Championships and achievements: Collegiate Wrestling, National Collegiate Athletic Association, NCAA Division I All-American out of Pennsylvania State University, NCAA Division I 197 LB a Euro 7th place out of Pennsylvania State University, NCAA Division I 197 LB a Euro runner-up out of Pennsylvania State University, NCAA Division I 197 LB a Euro 5th place out of Pennsylvania State University, NCAA Division I 197 LB a Euro champion out of Pennsylvania State University. Mixed Martial Arts, Ultimate Fighting Championship, Submission of the Night. MMA News 247, Submission of the Year vs. Tim Boetsch on November 20, 2010. Mixed Martial Arts Record, see also, List of current UFC fighters, List of male mixed martial artists, References. External links, Professional MMA record for Phil Davis from Sherdog, Official UFC profile, Davis ready for greatness a Euro Heavy MMA.com, Phil Davis's profile at the National Wrestling Hall of Fame.